Social Learning and Social Control Theories, Chapter 5. Social Learning Theories. The social learning approach to explaining crime and delinquency is dominated by the assumption that virtually all human behavior is socially learned. Deviance, like conformity, must be learned through socialization. Think about it. What were the most important factors of your socialization? Sutherland and Cressy's theory of differential association. These individuals stated that most criminal behavior is learned through contact with criminal elements and patterns which are present, acceptable, and rewarded in one's physical and social environment. They summarized their theory with 9 propositions. 1. Criminal behavior is learned. 2. It is learned in interaction with other persons in a process of communication. 3. The principal part of the learning of criminal behavior occurs within intimate personal groups. 4. When criminal behavior is learned, the learning includes techniques of committing the crime, which are sometimes complicated, sometimes very simple, and the specific direction of motives, drives, and rationalizations and attitudes. 5. The specific direction of motives and drives is learned from definitions of legal codes as favorable or unfavorable. 6. A person becomes delinquent because of an excess of definitions favorable to violation of law over definitions unfavorable to violation of law. Number 6 is the most important proposition. 7. Differential associations may vary in frequency, duration, priority, and intensity. 8. The process of learning criminal behavior by association with criminals and criminal patterns involves all mechanisms that are involved in any other learning. 9. While criminal behavior is an expression of general needs and values, it is not explained by those general needs and values, since non-criminal behavior is an expression of the same needs and values. Glazer's differential identification. Daniel Glazer, in 1956, supplemented Sutherland and Cressy's theory of differential association by adding the concept of differential identification. Viewing Sutherland and Cressy's theory as too mechanistic, Glazer emphasized the individual's ability to make choices and take on social roles. Glazer contended that it is not merely association with criminals or delinquents that is important, but the extent to which the individual identifies with those who are involved in criminal and delinquent patterns of conduct. So, who are your heroes or sheroes? Akers' differential reinforcement. Mass media and new technology have powerful influence over socialization. Media help shape our identities, and children identify strongly with media characters. New forms of media and technology provide even more possibilities for socialization. Akers' differential reinforcement. Ronald Akers was one of the principal theorists behind the view that deviant and delinquent behavior is learned and acted out in response to rewards and reinforcements that are available in the individual's environment. Individuals are motivated to behave in certain ways if rewarded for doing so. The social learning approach to explaining delinquency has enjoyed considerable support from many sociologists. This theory puts a lot of emphasis on socialization process and the influence of peer and reference groups. It also has a wide application to delinquency. Research shows that the best predictor of the extent of a youth's delinquency is the number of his or her delinquent associates. The old axiom that one rotten apple can spoil the barrel and birds of a feather flock together implies that individuals' behavior is greatly influenced by those with whom they associate and identify. The social learning theories of Sutherland, Glazer, and Akers may not explain the original causes of crime, but simply describe a process whereby criminality is transmitted and perpetuated in some delinquents. The theories don't really look at delinquents in low delinquency areas. Self-quiz. Choose one social strain theory and one social learning theory. Compare and contrast the two on their major assumptions and what leads to delinquency. Now we're going to get into social control theories. Whereas the three sociological approaches have attempted to answer the question, what causes delinquency? The social control approach also asks, what causes conformity? Criminologists increasingly believe the delinquent and non-delinquent dichotomy is an oversimplification of reality. The social control approach does not view deviance as abnormal. The reason people are not deviant is a result of social control. Reckless's containment theory. This theory suggests that a protective barrier is socialized into each member of society and is comprised of such personal attributes as self-control, self-concept, and internalization of social norms. This defense barrier is called inner containment and represents the ability of a person to resist temptations to deviate and to maintain normative loyalty. The strength of inner containment varies from individual to individual. The social group or society into which one belongs also supplies the outer line of defense. But this barrier to serious deviance is external to the individual and is called outer containment. Outer containment is the formidable array of legal demands and prohibitions that keep most people within the barrier bounds of their society. Outer containment is designed to control the individual and protect society from the deviant behavior. Push factors are variables within the individual, and pull factors are within the individual's social environment. Weakness in the balance control system give way to deviance and delinquent behavior. Sykes and Matza's techniques of neutralization. Sykes and Matza in 1975 argued that much delinquency occurs because many young persons, under simultaneous pressure from larger society to conform, and from peer group or subcultures with conflicting values and norms urging them to deviate, extend a set of psychological defense mechanisms to justify delinquent behavior. Sykes and Matza appropriately called their construction of the delinquency process techniques of neutralization, and they include denial of responsibility, so an excuse of, I didn't do it, the denial of injury, the excuse of, say, no one got hurt, denial of the victim, saying maybe that she deserved it, condemnation of the condemners, where you might say, you did it when you were my age, and the appeal to higher loyalties, where one might have the excuse, I needed to do it for my friends. Delinquents drift into delinquency through ongoing mental process of temporary negation of conventional normative expectations. Hershey's social bond theory. Hershey did not set out to explain why some juveniles violate the law, but sought to explain why some do not. The main building block of Hershey's theoretical construction is the social bond that attaches a person to the basic values and expected behaviors in society. In general, the social bond is established early in childhood through a natural attachment to parents, peers, teachers, and others, who manifest and model the expected conformity and respected sanctions. Religiosity and delinquency is also examined from a control perspective. All the text in these slides are quoted from the following.